Hello, friends. This reflection is for the 16th Sunday of Ordinary Time. Last week, we were introduced to the parables that Jesus would share with people about what the kingdom of God is. Last week, we had the sower that was sowing the seeds. Now, we get three different parables, and we understand what God what God is like at the kingdom of God is used as a metaphor. It's like kind of like analogy, so to speak, right? This week we focus on the theme of faith. Now, if we recall that there were 4 scenarios last week about what happens when we plant the seeds. Like we could probably plant them on a place where the seeds would wither and die without a solid foundation. They could be choked. They could be on fertile ground and grow. Honestly, we want to be on the last option, that is, of course, right? This week we hear about the theme that many of us, well, this week we hear, it goes a step further to explain that faith is needed in this day and age. When my parents were growing up, there was a hit song by a British band called the Kinks, called Lola. And one of the lyrics that stood out in that song was muddled, mixed up. And in today's culture, the song could be relatable now, more almost 6 decades later. 7 decades, rather. I lost count. But anyway, the point is, why is everything so mixed up? Why is everything so jaded? Well, we can point to one person that just loves to stir the pot of confusion, isolation, hysteria, and that is the devil himself. You see, the devil is on a mission to go and destroy everything God created for his own purpose. Father Mitch Pacwa puts it well. Why is there so much evil? It's because people take what God created and use them for their own purpose. Now, it's not them that's doing it. It's because they are being duped by the devil himself. If you may recall, early in Matthew's gospel, Jesus was in the desert for 40 days. And towards the end of his journey, the devil was trying to tempt him 3 times. There may have been more, but 3 times. And in those 3 responses, Jesus resisted. He overcame what the devil tried him to do. Jesus could have easily succumbed to fear. He could have been seduced by Satan. And if that would have happened, there would have been so much chaos. There would not be a church. Mark my words. But thanks be to God, Jesus redeemed the human race that once fell when Adam and Eve came into existence. So, when we reflect on this Sunday's reading, and of course something for the week ahead, there are 2 action items that we must take with us. Number 1, we do need a strong faith in order for us to keep going, to bring about God's kingdom on earth now. Second, perseverance. I think of faith and perseverance as best friends. They're like this. And you cannot have one without the other. You see, every time we persevere, our faith gets stronger. When we rely on God to help us overcome the temptations of the world, we persevere. How did so many saints
endure so much? It's because they persevered. St. Philip Neri reminds us that we must pray constantly for perseverance. Because if we do not persevere, we are never faithful to God. He calls us to be faithful. He wants us to persevere with all the chaos that's happening now. Persevere in faith, friends. The going may get rough, but as long as God is with us, He can help us overcome every challenge that is placed before us. Persevere in faith, friends. God bless.